Thanks for patiently waiting for me if you were. Let me know if you can hear me okay and if you can hear the music, but it's not like over too much. Hopefully not. Over too much. Hopefully not. Over too much. Okay. Got my coffee. Ready to go. So, we need to go through the forecast a little bit because there's a lot going on that it seems. Got my coffee. Ready to go. So, we need to go through the forecast a little bit because there's a lot going on that it seems. Got my coffee. Ready to go. So, we need to go through the forecast a little bit because there's a lot going on that it seems. Got my coffee. Ready to go. All right. That was an issue. Okay. So when we think of Cancer, we think of home, family, emotional security. We have some opposition right now in the next few days. On June 28th, we have Mercury and Pluto forming opposition, urging emotional honesty in work and in service. That's in the next few days. The Sun also aligns with Jupiter right now, bringing expanded horizons. And while in this new moon, it encourages emotional depth and expression. I know I have my notes like usual, guys. There's just so much to go over. So Neptune and Saturn are squaring the Sun and Jupiter during the new moon. It went from Pisces into Aries. And Neptune is all about dreams, spirituality, even illusions like wishful thinking. And now it has shifted into Aries. Neptune shifting from Pisces into Aries occurs roughly every 165 years. Okay? So this transit is going to occur until 2039. It's just one shift of one planet in that sign. Saturn, on the other hand, is in Aries very briefly until we go into retrograde next month. And from September 2nd to February 14th of next year, Saturn will shift back into Pisces. Again, astrology is just a hobby. It's something that I love, but we need to think more than just the moon cycle, or just the Saturn, or just the Neptune. All of these placements in your chart, depending on what's going on, is going to mean various things. So when we're going into the moon cycle, when it's a new moon, we're going into manifesting new beginnings, a fresh start. Whereas the full moon is a wonderful time to release and let go. But within that, we have to have the bird's eye view and the micro. Again, if you have never looked into your chart and have no idea what I'm talking about, my name is Fedra. Welcome to my channel. And I'm going through the new moon cycle of Cancer, doing a collective reading, but we're also going to think about on a broader scale what astrologically is happening at the same time. Now, in astrology, it's better to have a practitioner, a really well in-depth astrologer. I am not one. I just study for it for fun, but I know definitely a few throughout the states. If you want a referral, please message me. I will let you know. Hello, Noah Kubu. Hello, welcome. Hey, Michael. Okay. So, have you been having any difficulty speaking? this has been happening around my tribe. I cannot tell you how many people have been messaging me or saying to me that they're trying to get the words out, and it's like this disconnect. Maybe it's a bit soon, but I wouldn't be surprised if this is in effect because of Mercury retrograde. Mercury retrograde is coming up from July 17th through August 10th. So it's just around the corner. So with this new moon, I'm thinking, with Cancer being about your emotions and emotional depth, maybe we're supposed to be more into our hearts and more into our emotional body, and rather than in our head. Take it how you will. I want to first thank you all who are actually joining me in real time, right here, right now. Thank you so much. If you enjoy the recorded, piece of this live segment, please share it. Share it with those who you feel would resonate or is just curious about astrology and tarot. This is a great example of how I do my private readings, and all of that is in the description below. But if you can take a second and just like it, if you're digging it or if it resonates, and then share it later, please subscribe to the channel. Thank you for your support, and press the bell to get all notifications about everything that's going on with me. So let me take a sip of this coffee. And let us begin. So I wanted to get very sentimental. So what did I do? I feel when you want to, matters of the heart, just go back to the basics. So I brought out the deck my mother gave me. This is the Goddess Tarot by Chris Valdeher. And this was the first deck I ever learned tarot on. So it's seen many, many clients, and I'm very grateful for it. And because it's the goddess, it's very watery to me. So I thought it would be perfect for today. I always use the Moonology deck. It's just fantastic. I love the energy. It's all about the moon. We're all about the moon. So, and then just for clarification and for additional intuition, I brought energy oracle cards, which again have this water theme. If you weren't here last time, you can go into my channel and look at the previous moon cycle, which was in Scorpio, and now we're in Cancer. So again, more of these watery signs. Hello, Zach, welcome. Died of cancer and heart attack. I'm so sorry. Colleen, yes, I've been having a heck of a time expressing myself and articulating from an intellectual point of view. It's right, it's kind of clicking into the mind and in our hearts of hearts, like getting into deeper communication is sometimes we need to take those pauses. And in this, time frame that we're in with the amount of distractions, the amount of noise, like now it's telling for us to slow down. And we're peeking into, next month, which is retrograde, which is all about rest. I should probably do a review and kind of video on my own interpretation of Mercury retrograde. It's not the end of the world as people think. Depending on where Mercury is in your chart at that time, so next month, depends on how turbulent that retrograde is really going to be. But I would always say if you can slow down, totally. And don't sign any contracts. Or make sure you read the fine print. Let's see what collective has for us. Okay. I've done my prayers before I go live. Hi, Hassan. It's moving so quickly. Welcome. Are some of you angsty? Are some of you angsty? liking this energy. Okay. Okay. So sometimes we need a little bit of tough love, and sometimes we need that nurturing love, that grace, you know, that patience, that love, right? There is the foundation of all of this is magic. In this deck, it is Isis. If you know about Egypt, Isis learned all of the knowledge of magic and was able to really go over the upper and under world. In other decks, magic or Isis is basically the magician in regular cards, which is those that have all the tools. So I'm here to again validate to you, those that are watching right now, you are a magician. You're a wizard. You're a wizard, Harry. You have all the tools within you. All of this beautiful cumulative knowledge and experience. See, I'm even like, like all of this knowledge within you. It's just about taking action and embodying this. Not fake it till you make it. Just be. You know, be beautifully you. Fundamentally. Like if you want the shortest answer right now, that's it. I don't even have to go any further, right? I will. But when we go into these details, just go back to this. Go back to that mantra of really seeing the unique magic, the unique gifts, the unique stance that you have. Your unique voice is a vibration. All of that is all you. And it's so beautiful and so unique. How do you cope with a world that expects answers right now when you're about 2 steps away from complete hermit mode? All right, I get it. I get that 100%. And at times it is a balancing act of how we show up. How do we show up in this new moon of embracing this emotion and really owning that there's a part of me that wants to just shut all the doors, shut all the windows, and really be in hermit mode. And hermit mode is not necessarily a negative thing for us to heal, to us to study, to us to work on our craft, to work on our voice. How do we want to wear our clothes? How do we want to express ourselves? You know, what do we want to create, you know, with our divine hands and cultivate that? And then how do we bring it into the world? How do we want people to hear about us or know about us? We get to choose that. And that tightrope, you know, I can't sugarcoat that. That is up to you. You know, whether you wish to stay in isolation, that is a beautiful practice that many people do. Or they find a smaller commune and they stay in that, you know, presence there, and that is what fulfills them. Because at the end of the day, it's really about your comfortability, your stance of what is true to you. I hope that was relevant. So I would say, Michael, when it comes to careers, again, this is a collective reading, so it won't be very specific. But from what I see in the past and coming into the future, there's certain traits, certain parts of us that need to be secure for embodiment. Quick answer. King of Swords. You need to be sharp. You need to lead. You need to hold that sword diligently in the hand, but non-threatening. You need to really find love within yourself in the near future, that self-love. You have to face oppression that is coming. You have to face, that depth and risk and calculated risk. You have to really face combativeness, people that are going to understand you, people that are not going to, really accept your truth, people that are not going to see the value in what you bring. You will have opposition and you will still face that. I can keep going, but I don't want to seem that I'm going fast. But to answer you, that you can attribute to the career because, again, right, we're the magician. It's what we create with these hands. What do we build? Why do we build it? How do we utilize ourselves? But I don't want to get ahead. What's covering us is 3 of Cups. You see, it's a celebration. They're toasting to someone. So all of us in the near future that's watching this is going to a celebration. Whether that's a party, whether that's a work networking event, a wedding, a bridal shower, just an event, even if it's hanging out with friends, someone is going to be recognized and you're going to be toasted for that too. You're going to accomplish something and feel gratified of, yeah, this is why I'm doing what I'm doing. And you're going to feel it in your gut. You're going to feel it right there in that solar plexus, like, oh yeah, you're going to have that feeling. And you're going to be like, that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. It's worth it. And it's these little celebrations, because this is Cups again, Trinity. So that emotion, that gratification of this is why I do what I do, yeah, this will cover you throughout this cycle. And that is something that we cultivate too. It's not just from others. But yes, of course it helps when you are seen. Of course it helps when you get your little badge, your little glam, your little, I don't know, like little thing that you win, and it's like, congrats, you do have a little feeling, inside. But what if you get to the point, which you will, if you're on this channel and you do your work, you won't need it as much because you're cultivating that self hug, that self pat on the back. Like, I see myself. I honor myself. I honor my family. Cancer, like cancers in general, or as my teacher says, star crabs. I love it. She coined that. It's the best. I just can't help it. I just see a little crab running around with a big star. They're very much into their family. They're very much into nesting, right? Even having that emotional gratification from family, or even the gratification of what you call home. Home doesn't necessarily need to be a place, right? It needs to be what you feel in your soul and your heart. Or when you are in service, that is when you are home. When you're traveling abroad, right? If I can just share a little bit, Michael went off to the mountains, he told me, and shared a photo of these beautiful mountains. You could be on top of that mountain. That's not your home, but you feel like you're home because you're on Earth, because you are just a little closer to the universe. And this gives you that nourishment, that emotional security, that emotional depth. Now, in the past, you were in the energy of the King of Swords. So it's that masculine energy, that assertiveness. There was a situation, you all had it. You had a certain situation where, the chips were down or the chips were up, and you had to make the call. And you had to be assertive on it. You had to be, I don't even want to say cutthroat, but it's a good image in your mind to be like, chop, like, it's done. And that's great. We do need to be sharp. We do need to be calculated. We do need to define where we're going and why, and own up to that. Even if you feel it in your gut, it doesn't make sense, but you're like, I'm running the ship. Ship gotta go that way, Five of Staffs. Those of you watching, you've put it in the ground. I cannot tell you how important this is. It's like, here, I'll show you. See how they're fighting? In this circle around the sun. No one's really winning. You know, this isn't, you know, if those of you ever seen that movie, this isn't Highlander, you know, there can be only one. No. It's not even fair. If you can see it, one of them is crouching there, you know, crouching. Like, do I really need to fight? I don't know if I could even fight back. You put that in the ground. You're just like, sure. I'm not even gonna fight you guys. You guys can go do what you wanna do. I'm gonna go do what I wanna do. I'm not gonna put up with this opposition anymore. It's childish. It's immature. It's below me. And if you don't like it, you don't gotta be in my life. It's owning that physically, because this is staves. This is more on that physical abundance side now. We're talking about physical stuff now. So this could be a job. This could be management. This could be home. This could be, you know, even altercations in family where they just don't see a line. It's like respect has to be there, you know? It was an interesting lesson. Now, what's coming is oppression. Not a fun thing. It is the feeling of bondage. It is slavery. It is feeling tied to something that does not serve your highest good. Maybe you're going to feel this way coming in. I know you would say, why is this coming from the universe? Why is this an opportunity? It's an opportunity to see, where are you slaving yourself? And emotionally, it's not right. You know you're putting your energy somewhere where it doesn't serve you. You're not feeling energized. You're not feeling fulfilled. It's perpetuated. It's happened many, many times, and you've justified. We can go deeper. What if it's an opportunity for you to see how you've mistreated yourself? Starving yourself, spiritually, emotionally, creatively. This could be inner child work. This could be shadow work. This could be the scarcity that you see of others, and you judge them, and you say, they deserve what they get. That is all within the emotions that you're not processing, that you're not regulating, and that inner cry of the inner mother, of the great mother, of the great love that is here. It's not outside. Hate to break it to you. It leads me into the near future, which is love, which is Venus, all of love and abundance. Beautiful red, which is of the root chakra here. And this can be for some of you that you find lovers, that you may find connection, that you find community, that you find inner emotional depth. You cultivate that from, again, of really embodying you, from really celebrating you and celebrating others, seeing that we're really not all that different. And we all have beautiful gifts. We're all quirky, we're all a little goofy, we're all a little weird. I don't think I've really met anyone normal. I don't think so. They've tried. And it's like, nice try. You won't believe what's next. We had 3 of Cups covering us, and we have 2 of Cups. In the placement of my spread, this is how we see it, which is partnerships. We see partnerships in the new moon of Cancer. And this is a feminine and masculine. That's either the energies within us, the outer world of that assertiveness, that strength. I have to be strong. I have to be stoic. I have to have no emotions. I have to lead. I have to be dominant. I have to be aggressive. I have to be bullshit. Like, or I have to be feminine and graceful and ever tolerant and submissive. And it's like, where is this coming from? We're everything and anything and nothing. I won't get too deep, okay? Let's not. I don't know if you all are ready. If you want a private reading with me and you want to go deeper and deeper, then you just, yeah, that's how you do it. You come find me, message me. I'm on Instagram. We'll make an appointment, okay? And we'll get that done. Okay. Partnerships, again, community, again, your family, seeing the connections that you have, appreciating those connections, deepening those connections, seeing the connections that don't serve or don't resonate, the connections that have drained you over time, the connections that have embraced you, and letting it fall as it will. Having that compassion no matter what, that all is for what is needed right now. And you don't have to do anything. You don't have to be anything. Feel through those connections. Don't be afraid of those feelings. Those feelings show so much, but when we suppress them, where do they go? They build within us physically. We have tradition. This is the practicality. This is the traditional sense of how do we handle our emotions. There are many generations that we know of, not going to name them, where things are very transactional. When things weren't split down the middle. Things were not balanced. And we don't have to go over just the negatives. We can go over the positives of the traditional way of loving, right? The flowers, the chocolates. Don't get me wrong, I love that, but it's very traditional. We don't have to go that route if we don't want to. But think about those traditional ways that we can nourish ourselves that we're not thinking of. I always go back to the basics. Having a nice, beautiful walk. Taking a hot bath. Planning a trip. Having a staycation. Calling up a friend or a family that you haven't spoke to in a long time. Those are all things very nourishing, that really can shift our mindset of where we are if we need it. Sometimes it's taking inventory of how we see ourselves. How do we feel about our life right now? What do we think is missing? And what do we think that needs to be improved of? Cancers are deep reflectors. They brew into thinking. I've had so many beautiful philosophical discussions with cancers. They are private. Maybe that's part of tradition. When we look at social media, let's face it, a lot of people overshare. A lot of people say things they just shouldn't have said. They just kind of regurgitate like, oh my God, I just have to share this right now. And it's like, okay, can you just control? It's goose farba. Let's do some breath work. I mean, really, when we think of this, we would all theorize about, what was it like before social media? Really just think of how can you be more private with your things? Maybe making it a little bit more sacred. Taking the time to have more intimate one-on-one conversations. Maybe that will further nourish of, hey, this is the real me. This is really what I think, what I feel, what I know. Instead of trying to put on this persona or this image that really doesn't resonate. People can see it. Now they may not say it, but some of them will. Those are some real ones. Treasure them. And I'm not saying oversharing is a negative, but in the traditional sense that this is here, when it comes to the emotional depth, maybe honing in on what I'm willing to share and what I'm not, and even experiment. Feel again into the sacral. Feel into your tuition of like, does this person need to know this? Is this kind? Is this truthful? Is this person even ready to hear it? That is a self-respect and the respect of the other. I hope that you're enjoying the collective reading so far. In my description, I have my handles for donation. Any donation helps me in my business, and I thank you so much. We're now getting into the final stage. Fertility. Beautiful goddess, Native American goddess. Thank you, Colleen. Yes, there was a form of community, a form of brotherhood, a form of sisterhood. And I think we have lost our way. And unfortunately, I think in times of need and in times of war, that is when we have come together. I hope that we are evolving a little bit quicker, that we're going to not need these very serious obstacles in order to come together and be more authentic. Fertility can mean many things. We'll just give it the blanket of abundance. In order for your outcome of this beautiful new moon is about cultivating abundance. I've made this analogy many times about the farmer. The farmer is a patient person. You don't take your seeds, put them in the ground, and start yelling at it. Hurry up and grow. No. We need to honor every part of the routine. We have to monitor and cultivate it just like a child. We have to give that patience and watch it grow. Harvest it at the right time and really take it in. When we see that about ourselves and honor again and celebrating ourselves, we get to really feel through the whole journey. Instead of focusing on these little hits of the timeline of look what I did, look what I did, look what I did, it's more of I feel that this is time to let go. I feel that I have accomplished something worthwhile for me to be proud of, for me to accept. Corn is not necessarily the most nutritious thing, I'm going to say, even though I'm not a dietitian. But when we look at the crop itself and the corn opens up, we can eat it or not eat it. It will still go through its natural cycle of opening up and dying. And whether we eat it or the animals and insects eat it, it still goes back into the cycle of the universe. And seeing that cycle and not having a fear around it, having more of an openness of it. Again, to take in all of this, that I am leading my life and I am assertive and I am calculated. I understand that not everyone will accept my journey or how I feel. I don't need to make people understand it. I understand that there will be obstacles and oppression, but what I do have is love. That my partnerships and community are here, that those energies are within me to balance and honor, that I will hang on to the traditions that resonate with me and let go of the traditions that do not. And all of this I will cultivate. All of this I will bring and receive. I will give and take. And that comes to the last one, which is contemplation. That is the Chinese goddess of the dream world. It would make sense that it would be here because of the moon. The reflection of our dreams. The sensing of our dreams. The ending of a tough cycle approaches. Your hard work is paying off. Don't let pride get in your way. And look at the bigger picture. Interesting that one of them is Leo, which is what we're going to move into the next month after we pass the Cancer season. Happy birthday to all the Cancers out there if you're watching this. Much love to you guys. I will just open up the forum briefly for those of you watching. Do you have any questions about this energy collectively that we have during the Cancer season? Have you all been feeling any of this irritation or this harder part to speak? Shiana, yeah, you can ask a question. I'll do my best to answer. You did, Michael. You did feel a lot of irritation. Well, it's a lot of shifts, right? You know, Aries is not always sunshine and rainbows. Aries is the first of the zodiac. It is the fire, it is the leader. It is the one that will lead through all things fearlessly. So that assertiveness is in the air in various signs right now, especially Saturn, which Saturn governs karma. So it's a good kick in the pants right now. And we went from the Gemini into Cancer. So we went from the mind, the logical, the air, the intellectual, into now the heart and the feelings and the movements of the body. Like, oh. Oh yes, yes. There is definitely new beginnings in a new moon, for sure. Again, it is that part of the cycle that we're in. And that is where within these new beginnings, we have a fresh start to start new routines, start new ways of thinking and feeling. Well, again, I really thank you all for watching that have. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. The new moon cycle, that will be the full moon, that will be coming up on July 10th, if you'd like to join us again on the full moon then. Until then, please subscribe to the channel for all things that I post of my comedy, which is Phaedra's Mom, my music, and of course, all things tarot and Reiki. If you'd like a private reading with me, please contact me on Facebook on my business page, which is Soul Note Healing. You can email me directly as well, or you can message me on Instagram. I hope you take the time to really rest and reflect. I hope this emotionally nourished you a little bit today. Again, thank you for watching. Definitely pick up those likes for me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.